not yet believers. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. All praises to Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. We send blessings and peace upon the Prophet Muhammad and all of his followers until the day of recompense. My brothers and my sisters, good morning. This is kind of a day in the life of, or a morning in the life of, my work that I'm doing. It's pretty cold out here. As you can see, I'm wheelbarrowing my tools around right now in this field to pick up some of the brush that I have already cut down previously. This is, it's very wet ground early in the morning with the dew settling on the ground, alhamdulillah. And, but very beautiful nonetheless. As you can see, the woods and the tree lines around me, mashallah. I'll get panned around here so you can kind of see some of the view. Trying to take it easy with the wheelbarrow going through this rough terrain, just so I don't drop the camera. But I kind of want to give you guys a glimpse of what it is that I do, subhanAllah, on a part-time basis, just to try to provide for the family to the best of my ability. Inshallah, one day I'll be doing Dawah full-time. That's the goal. But in the meantime, I'll be doing stuff like this. What I do is I come on property for other people, and I clean up brush and tree lines. And as you can see here, let me set this down gently. As you can see, subhanAllah, there's a lot of brush surrounding these main trees, these main pine trees here. I'll give you a glimpse up top. You can see that tree probably is about 40 feet in the air, most likely. So what I'll do is when I start, all the bottom of this will be covered and surrounded. Let me put my glove on here. Will be covered and surrounded with these smaller type trees. They're about, anywhere from size of your thumb to size of 2 or 3 fingers together. But what I do to start with on a situation like this is I'll take my trusty cutters and start taking them down bit by bit, piece by piece, until I can come in with a weed eater and get all the smaller stuff. And the object is to try to have the overgrowth to not come back for next year, inshallah. I'll give you kind of a glimpse here real quick of some of it that I've already done. There are several trees on this location, and this is in a field right outside of someone's client's house. So if you want to take a look, bismillah. So you see the trees extend all the way back into the back, all the way up the hills. And what I've started with down here, you can see kind of the piles of the dead brush that I've already cut and removed and piled up for removal. So, there's still a lot of work to be done, and most likely I'll be doing this well into the winter time, inshallah, if Allah allows me to work that long. Some clients are real particular about, the seasons of the year when they want you to work, and how long they want you to work, and a lot of it depends on what they're financially able to afford to. Subhanallah, I don't make a lot of money off of these people, because really in reality I'm doing them a service too. What it does is it helps when you have trees like this giant pine, right, and it's surrounded by this undergrowth. As you can see, what it does is it sucks the life and the nutrients out of the main tree there, and it prevents the main tree from staying alive. So a lot of times you'll have what seems to be a really solid tree, subhanAllah. Like it seems to be solid and alive, but in reality, where all the nutrients have been sucked out of it from the undergrowth and stuff, you're having a hollow shell. And you know, that's like us in life a lot of times. We have solid bodies, mashallah, but we have hollow insides, and we give precedence in our lives to a lot of things that are not related to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then because of that, our inner self suffers. You look how beautiful that is, mashallah. That's one thing that I do like about this. You know, I do like it about this is just the peacefulness and serenity and the beauty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's countryside. Ultimately, like I've said 1,000 times, man, my goal is to do Dawah full time. Inshallah ta'ala, I'll be able to do that. You know, as you start to get older, you know, you want to try to preserve your body as much as you can, much like I'm trying to preserve these trees. And there's a future generation that will come along after me and who will take on these types of jobs, inshallah, you know. But for now, it's on me. And I make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless me with the ability to do Dawah full time. To the brother who was out there who was talking about me coming down to Arlington, Texas last night on the live chat, hit me up on my email, brother. It's trinitytruth07@gmail.com. trinitytruth07@gmail.com. Inshallah, I would love to come down and visit like I visited excuse me, Stone Mountain, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think that would be beneficial for the dawah, beneficial for the deen, inshallah. But anyways, brothers and sisters, I'm going to get off of here for now and get back to work. I've already got some of the removal done this morning, but you know, early bird catches the worm, as they say, and I will touch back shortly. Inshallah, I'll take some footage of cutting down so you kind of get an idea of what's what. Till next time, remember that there's one God and only one God, and He alone is worthy of worship. Bismillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. When you go into one of these areas like this, because you know, you never know. You don't want to startle a jinn, for example, and have some type of situation. So I always try to say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim whenever I get started. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Just cutting down the brush and dragging it out. Me, myself, I prefer to do this type of weather when it's cool out. When it's hot, you have a lot more chance of running into bees and hornets and things of that nature, and a lot of spiders and stuff, you know. A lot of outdoor hazards, so to speak. Not that they don't still exist, because they're still out here, even in this month. As cool as it is right now, there's still plenty of wildlife hazards. So we try to be careful. I try to be as careful as possible and pay attention to my surroundings. Look for anything moving in the peripheral vision that doesn't need to be moving, because I don't like encountering bees. Then you're going to see one very fast Muslim on the move. Camera around, inshallah, without tipping everything over. So as you can see, for example, I have this tree here, right? And this is all things that will suck out the nutrients of the main trees, right? And the client wants to keep the main trees so that it can look, you know, pretty, so to speak. So trying to cut out this underbrush. And drag it out a little at a time. It's a good example. A good example too of what I run into a lot. I'll have down branches from storms, and a lot of times these are dead, but a lot of times they're not. They've been down from storms and nothing but storms, not because they've rotted. Subhanallah. So we got to pull them out of here. I got to pull them out either way. So Bismillah. You hear the crows up there in the distance. I finally had to shed the hoodie. It's getting a little too hot. SubhanAllah. Now that I'm finished, subhanAllah, hopefully what you can see is, inshallah, the visual difference in the before and after. So I've got several large piles of brush piled up here to get rid of. So these will have to be dragged off and removed to the property, or they'll make a burn pile for it. But here's another one. But you want to look at the main trees from where we started and how they're exposed now. And you can kind of get through there. Now the rest of this I can get with a weed eater and kind of clean it up, inshallah. Clean it up, make it look more uniform and nice, inshallah. I've got several piles of brush to get rid of. You look around, but give you kind of a shot from where we were at in the very beginning of this. I started cutting from this side, so you can look at the before and the after. So before, these trees were not exposed at all. In the life, I've got to cut this one down here. Or is that already cut? That might already be cut. That's already cut. But the life was getting sucked out of this main tree and these other main trees, right? So by cutting down all this underbrush and undergrowth, it allows for more nutrients in the ground and to absorb more water to the main trees and hopefully keep them alive. I don't feel, a lot of times you could knock on these and tell. You can tell if they're hollow, or you can also take a stick or a tree branch or something and bump the ground around the base of the tree, and you can tell whether or not it's dead, eat up with termites, or just dead from lack of nutrients in the soil from the underbrush. So, subhanAllah. Thanks guys for joining me. And, like I've said before, this is it's kind of tough work. MashaAllah, I get to do it for right now. But inshallah soon, to be doing Dawah full time. So kind of take it easier on my body as I start to age and things. But for right now, this is a part-time situation. Allah knows best. I do the best that I can, just like you brothers and sisters out there. And all you brothers and sisters out there who have liked and subscribed and who have joined the channel, subhanAllah, thank you guys so much. Alhamdulillah, all praises to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, if you haven't liked and subscribed and shared this content, please share the content for the sake of Allah, and please consider channel membership for the sake of Allah. It helps the Dawah, helps me to continue to do what I do, making Dawah content, inshallah, and hopefully will get me out of these hot days and cold days, dealing with the wildlife and dealing with the bees and the spiders and the snakes and all that stuff, inshallah. So Until next time, brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Remember that there is one God and only one God, and He alone is worthy of worship.